One Zambia, one nation. Hello and welcome to the news. My name is Henry Himonde. Here are the headlines. 30 Luansha farmers scammed in fake fertilizer scandal. Kapala Foundation donates to Chifunabuli storm disaster victims. And Electoral Commission of Zambia launches media corps in Southern Province. And the World Bank has donated vehicles to the Zambia National Blood Transfusion Services. And now the news in detail. Over 30 farmers have been scammed with fake fertilizer sold to them by two known men of Baluba area of Luansha district. The two men have since been arrested and detained at Baluba police station. Details in the following report by Nkwachi Chanda.
So abengi bali batwaliza pamanya nabakwati bakungira panganda kuli agenti oba tuperewa kushitako ife traiza ilife bwini twalikwata gusho kundwa efo twashiti so inena palo wanzi na shite kwa bags ya kids after twashita inena libula kwa bags ya bidia ya pantu ndani mama kadinzi na ya bika nomba na le shitopo na bika ya yulia na bika kwa bag na half pale.
These are some of the farmers who bought urea and decompound fertilizer, but later observed that their crops were burnt after applying it. They have called for justice into the plight. Luansha District Commissioner Once Mongonomo has assured the farmers that the law shall take its course.
This is an offense committed to Adikwata if it conke Miranda. Atin, our conke Miranda te ifwe, our conke Miranda nyaba. Today, mfanati tuishire kuno panti momo na lima omvwe tusakamene amataba nendupwashe okay na tuchite efende mieba ba police ba defwaya bonse ba shitere fertilizer kuri aba bantu. Bring back the fertilizer. If you have got 2 bags, bring the 2 bags. Bring the 2 empty bags. Mashitere 6 imbina livi na mwene kwa tinjeni ishere ponili bonse tushite fofi.
The fertilizers is alleged to have been produced by ETG and has since been taken to the laboratory for testing to ascertain its authenticity. Nkwachi Chanda, Zanis, Luansha District.
We now move to Eastern Province, where the Chipata High Court has issued an order to dispose of over 1,700 bags of maize confiscated during the Zambia National Service anti-smuggling operations. The consignment, that also includes about 200 bags of mealie meal, has since been handed over to the provincial administration for further action. Meanwhile, Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole says the maize will be contributed towards the operations of the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, while some less privileged people have been identified to benefit from the mealie meal. More in the following report.
This consignment of maize and mealie meal currently at the Mwami Border Zambia Revenue Authority warehouse was confiscated between November and December during anti-smuggling operations conducted by the Zambia National Service. After successfully being cleared by the courts, the commodity has been handed over to the Eastern Province Administration for disposal.
1,778 bags, the total number of grain, maize grain. This is maize grain that was impounded by our colleagues at Zanis and passed on to ourselves for disposal. Can assure you that everything has gone through, the legal processes and this is actually ready for disposal. Also have milling meal. That is 339 bags by 25 kg. 101 bags were assessed not to be in good condition.
Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole gave guidance on the distribution process.
The 238 bags of meal, we have decided that some of it should go to the hospital, shelter homes and prisons. And the 70 bags, people living with leprosy, they brought a request that the maize is going to DMMU, let's liaise and ensure that within this week we move all the stocks because they're fully packed.
He further advised those engaging in cross-border business to always abide by the law.
We would want to urge them to follow the correct procedures. On the other side, it's sad they have lost, but let's use this as a lesson. And let us send a message that please do your business following the law. What the Act stipulates, let's abide by.
Abigail Kashweka, Zanis, in Chipata District.
And in Luapula Province, over 1,000 farmers are expected to benefit from the Sustainable Agriculture Financing Loan Facility. Out of the 1,000, about 420 farmers have been targeted in Mansa District alone, with loans expected to be disbursed by Friday this week. More in the following report by Kennedy Chomba.
Farmers in Mansa District who are benefiting from the Sustainable Agriculture Financing Facility are expected to get their loans on Friday this week. Mansa District Agriculture Coordinator Stanford Nkoma indicates that 5 banks have been engaged to disperse the loans.
Already, the agro dealers that will be participating in this facility have already been identified and submitted the names to HQ. And we have five financing institutions that are participating. Luckily, with Mansa, all the 5 banks are physically present in Mansa. We have Window Bank, we have NatSave, ABSA, Atlas Mara, and NatSave. So we hope that with having this advantage, we hope that the disbursement will not take long. Of course, we realize that time is running out, but we are trying to make things move quicker. So far, at least 3 banks have shown readiness, NatSave and Indo, including Zanaco.
Farmers who are expected to benefit from this loan facility are grateful to government, as the loan facility will enable them to increase their maize production.
Okay. So
However, some of the recipients of these loans are concerned with the slow pace of disbursing the loans, saying this can affect their production.
Ready to window if you win a number. The government here developed 5 banks here. Apaba Sukafie, Kademfika Tia, number for the banks here. 12 are so disappointed. In each case, you want to pump if you mobile is mobile to number. A part case, NatSave, whoever the clubs are, so needs to emit my operation number.
Tunga tualolesha pali period ya kulimina ponga bashirura na ya bali process na nomba tailafikirishiwa kuno nomba tukiri tule defailisha byo kwishyura kwisoko twala sende.
The Sustainable Agriculture Financing Facility is an initiative by government aimed at increasing maize production in the country. Kenneth Chomba reporting for Zanis News in Mansa District.
And in Central Province, an agro firm has constructed a classroom block at a cost of 200,000 kwacha at Mpande Primary School in Serenje District. The classroom block being built for a preschool is intended to facilitate an improved learning environment. Serenje Town Council Chairperson Stevius Mulumba, who commissioned the school, says the project is an example of a public-private partnership. Cliff Munjile gives us more in the following report.
Black Star Agriculture Limited has constructed a 60-capacity classroom for preschool learners at Mpande Primary School in Serenje District at the cost of about 200,000 kwacha. Chief Chibale commissioned the project. Serenje Town Council Chairperson Stevius Mulumba says the project is an example of public-private partnership that Zambians would like to see more of.
What Black Star has done today as an investor of plowing back to the community, and that's what we want.
District Education Standards Officer for Serenje, Kenneth Muyenga, commended the company for the move.
Studies and research has shown that learners who pass through ECE, they tend to progress very, very well. Our expectation is that the learners who are going to pass through that, we are likely to produce doctors, pilots, engineers, you can name it. So for this, it is very much in line with government policy. As it is now, the Ministry of Education itself is coming up with ECE hubs.
Nicole Anderson is Black Star Chief Executive Officer, the man behind the project, which is expected to improve classroom accommodation at Mpande Primary School.
We have always maintained a good relationship with Mpande School, and it's an honor and a proud moment for me to stand here today and to hand over a preschool classroom that can make a difference to the development of many young children in Mpande.
Chief Chibale is impressed with the construction of the classroom block.
Nico Anderson, he's got a heart for the community. So we need to thank Black Star for this gesture. We want Black Star to continue helping the community. As you heard the request from the head mistress, she said that we would like to make this school grow again.
Cliff Managombo Munjire, Zanis News, Serenje.
The Kapala Foundation has donated mattresses, blankets, and other household essentials to over 70 families who had their houses destroyed by heavy rains in Chifunabuli district. Betsheba Katebe now gives us more in this report.
Chifunabuli district has for some time now remained prone to disaster, especially in the rain season. The district has this year again recorded a disaster recently where about 76 families lost their houses, household property and foodstuffs after a storm hit some parts of the district, leaving families with no food or shelter. To mitigate some of these challenges that the affected families are facing, the Kapala Foundation, a non-profit organization, donated different items to the victims.
Nachimbi echo ningamira yangu chakutira twalashite fimuti mukese elimba chilanganda tukaleta fimuti finga bibiri so tukekala na baponde mecha bonse na badisi tumwanenga chako batunga sange nshira yakwe bati amayanda tukalakula nomba yakakoseko.
Former Chifunabuli Member of Parliament Pondemecha was also part of the entourage.
Ngamwatimomoni amayanda kuno kumweso ayengia kulirwa kale Elonga mwalolesha pamwela ife ule pupa inonjita amayanda yali yachepa ichalale ngo kutira nomba abantu tufire okuyikatana nokuyibimbamo tumoni okutila ichi chintu twachikonkolo ndo kanshi tuletotela baona boweso na bamayo weso na Kapala Foundation abatu butukilatini ili obuteko bulesha ukumona twala chitashanzi twakulalomba kona kubantu bambi atini abakweba kibaisa twafuirisha.
The victims have thanked the foundation for the gesture.
Ande totela ile baona lebo bapita Kapala bamfuira kutila ifama ya ndeso na yatobeka baisa bachito mutima wankundu tule totela ifwe mukampu twalikele nkumba bulino bulanda nomba bakwisa mwesa baona lebo ifwe twamfako no kusansa muka.
Betsheba Katebe reporting for Zanis News in Chifunabuli district in Wapla province.
In health news, Rufunsa District Commissioner Richard Mabena has commended Good Neighbors, a non-governmental organization working in the district for complementing government efforts in improving the well-being of people. Speaking when he received 12 bicycles donated by Good Neighbors for community health workers in at Lukwipa Health Post, Mr. Mabena said government has prioritized the private-public partnership in driving the economy. More in the following report. The Center for Infectious Disease Research in Zambia, CIDAS, is training assistant veterinary officers from various camps in Northern Province on the District Health Information System. CIDAS Assistant Strategic Information Officer Richard Escapili says the training is meant to improve the management of data systems for officers in the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock. More in the following report.
All sectors. The livestock sector is not remaining behind, as it is also witnessing groundbreaking innovations. It is in the spirit of spearheading new innovations that has brought the Center for Infectious Disease Research in Zambia, CIDAS, to Kasama to equip veterinary assistants in Northern Province on the District Health Information System, DHIS2.
So far, we've been piloting the DHIS2 system into like 3 provinces so far, and then from the time we started piloting up to now, we've seen an improvement from the way the ministry is now handling their data. So from this, we've seen advantages of them reporting data on, like in real time, make the ministry making decisions in real time.
Principal Veterinary Research Officer from the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock gives an outline of the training.
And the advantage of such a system that because we come to know these things in real time, even the time it takes to make decisions is shortened. And in that we are going to improve our response time to disease outbreaks countrywide.
And we expect that the output will actually be able to enhance our operations, because DHIS2 is information that you report in real time. So there will be nothing like one has to delay the way they are going to do the reports.
The Department of Veterinary is expecting that the training will enhance the operations of officers in the province.
This information that you collect in the field is very important for decision making. That's why we have seen people investing money. Government is investing a lot of money into this, so that information is collected quickly.
In the past, we would normally just rely on the monthly reports, which normally take up to the end of the month.
For Zanis in Kasama, I'm Taonga Nkoma.
In Northwestern Province, the Zambia Information and Communication Technology Authority, ZICTA, has embarked on a sensitization and engagement program in Kabompo District and selected parts of the country where it is erecting communication towers through the Universal Access Services Fund project. ZICTA Copper Belt Regional Officer Krista Bell Simbulo says the engagement visits are aimed at ensuring community members on the communication towers which have been vandalized in other parts of the country. Benson Witika has more in the following report. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has launched the Media Corps in Southern Province with the objective of building capacity of the media personnel in coverage of the country's electoral process. ECZ Senior Corporate Affairs Officer Sylvia Walia says the Commission wants the media to take elections as a process and not as an event through continuous coverage of the country's electoral processes. Details in the following report by Costa Kimudenda.
Journalists play a pivotal role in information dissemination to the members of the public. For this reason, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has embarked on nationwide media personnel capacity building to equip journalists with electoral process information. The reconstitution of media corps aimed at equipping journalists has been launched in Southern Province.
This is meant for journalists throughout the country. We want to make sure that we have a very close relationship with the media and to engage in various forums as much as possible to ensure that we create a conducive reporting environment for journalists, and to also make sure that electoral information can be disseminated to members of the public and to other stakeholders in a timely manner.
The Commission wants journalists to cover the electoral process continuously.
Journalists should not only cover elections when it comes to a general election, and we are equipping journalists with information through various engagements, which will also include media training.
For journalists in Southern Province, this engagement by ECZ is a wake-up call.
This workshop, it will really help media houses, and in many cases, we are more interested during and slightly after elections.
This training will actually help us to engage more in reporting electoral matters, as well as informing the public in areas where they are still lacking behind.
In every general or by-elections, spoiled ballot papers is among other challenges that still hinders citizens to exercise their rights to vote. Costa Kimdenda, Zanis, in Joma District, Southern Province.
We now take a break, but we have more stories when we return. Stay tuned.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar. For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
We continue with the news. The Teaching Council of Zambia, TCZ, says it will prosecute about 60,000 non-compliant teachers effective January 2024. Speaking during a media briefing in Lusaka, Teaching Council of Zambia Registrar A.B. Mubanga said all registered teachers must be licensed as stipulated in the Teaching Profession Act No. 5 of 2013. Dr. Mubanga also clarified that the list circulating on social media in Kawambwa sent by the Kasama TCZ office is not a recruitment list but a list of non-compliant teachers in the district. And the Teaching Council Registrar encouraged all teachers in both public and private schools to remain professional at all times and ensure that they are compliant and understand government's policies and programs. Dr. Mbanga further called on the general public to report any malpractice or misconduct by any teacher in their communities.
Every teacher who is registered, especially serving, whether in the private sector or public sector, must be registered with the council. And one of the things that has been of great concern to us is low teacher compliance. Compliance in terms of registration has been good. Compliance in terms of teacher licenses has been lower than registration. But the expectation and the message to all teachers and all head teachers is that teachers must be both registered and licensed. Whether they are teaching in a private school or a public school, they must be both registered and licensed. To clarify one issue that happened yesterday in Wapula, to be precise in Kawambwa district, where a list of non-compliant teachers was sent from our Kasama regional office to all the districts in the region in that particular area. And this list was meant to just confirm the compliance status of the teachers concerned who were on that list. But I think when this list got somewhere in Kawambwa, some people saw the list and misinterpreted the list. I wish to indicate to say that list had nothing whatsoever to do with recruitment, but it has something to do with compliance in terms of teacher registration and teacher licenses.
And Minister of Labour and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba has called on the labour market to increase production and venture into value addition for them to effectively contribute to the country's economic growth. Speaking when she opened the tripartite consultative Labour Council meeting in Lusaka, Ms. Tambatamba said Zambia is losing a lot of revenue by exporting raw materials and could maximize on this through value addition. Luansha constituency Member of Parliament Lusale Simbao is disappointed with the work attitude of some workers at the Luansha Municipal Council. Mr. Simbao says lack of seriousness and poor workmanship has led to most projects in his constituency under the Constituency Development Fund to delay in completing. More in the following report by Nkwachi Chanda.
Luansha constituency Member of Parliament Lusale Simbao has toured some projects in his constituency and has bemoaned the slow pace of works. The Member of Parliament had wonders how some projects under the 2021 and 2022 Constituency Development Fund have not yet been completed. Mr. Simbao, together with the Luansha District Commissioner and the local authority officers, monitored Mipundu and Wutungwa bridges in Mikomfwa.
Very disappointing to see the progress of the works under CDF. Of course, what I went showing you around are those projects that have not been successful. There are a few that have been successful, but it's very sad. There is no agency in the workers at our local council. They really don't mind. After all, it's not my house. After all, it's not my bridge. After all, it's not my school. That's the type of attitude that you see in these council workers. So,
Luansha District Commissioner advised the local authority over the works being done.
It's a two-in-one, yes. Water at that end there goes to the other side, but you need the drainage here. Yes. Not connected to the water there. Because of the nature of the land where we are, the water will drain this way. Now the drainage is here. How best can we make this thing work? That's one. Two, at that end where the MP spoke about, that's another. Yes, yes. Because there then we are closer to that line. But here, with this settlement or with these houses, if you don't build the drainage, then the road is the drainage. It's very simple. So the cost implications, I agree with MP. If we assess, if we are off, we should be off by a certain small amount of money. So maybe we did not consider building a drainage here. We considered just digging.
Meanwhile, Harriet Wanda, a resident, has appealed to the local authority to work on the drainage system in the area.
So I can't manage ukwendo so much that slippery sand. So turelomba ku government mutu amsheko msona ma drainages papa.
Nkwachi Chanda, Zanis, Luansha District.
We now take our last break, and when we return, World Bank donates vehicles to Zambia blood transfusion services. Keep watching.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
And now the rest of the news. The World Bank Zambia has handed over 6 vehicles costing about 350,000 United States dollars to the Zambia National Blood Transfusion Services, and the World Bank has reaffirmed its continued support to Zambia National Blood Transfusion Services. Minister of Health Sylvia Masewo is happy with the donation and said the vehicles will go a long way in addressing transport challenges in the 6 provinces where they will be distributed. Sharon Walia has details in this report.
The challenge of transport will now be a story of the past, as the World Bank has handed over 6 vehicles worth about $350,000 United States dollars to the Zambia National Blood Transfusion Service. The World Bank said the donation demonstrates the bank's enhanced support to the Zambia National Blood Transfusion Service.
The vehicles being handed over today cost about $350,000 US dollars, have been supported through the COVID project. The event we are witnessing today marks the beginning of a series of support to the Zambia National Blood Transfusion Services. That includes rehabilitation of the 10 provincial blood centers and establishment of 20 hubs, which are 2 per province, which will be fully equipped with blood refrigerators, plasma freezers, platelet shakers, and vehicles for mobilization.
Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo pointed out that transport is key to health service delivery.
These are a special kind of vehicle. It's an equipment that will indeed help us to deliver better health care. It is an equipment, or they are equipment that will help us save lives. Many times we hear of women dying because there's no blood.
The Minister of Health cautioned private and public health facilities across the country against selling blood.
For all I know, blood is not supposed to be sold. Doesn't matter whether it's here in the public hospital or it's at a private hospital, because the government currently is the only one that is giving out blood to both public and private. And this blood is at government cost in terms of collecting it and making sure it is safe for use. But even at that cost, the government takes that cost and gives to all the facilities in the country so that together we work as one to save lives. So when you hear that somebody is selling blood, just know that there is something illegal. And so I want to use this opportunity to advise facilities, both public and private, that do not sell blood.
With these vehicles, it is hoped that blood transfusion services will be delivered to Zambians closer to their homes. Reporting for Zanis in Lusaka, Sharon Walia.
Still on health matters, health authorities in Northern Province have heightened surveillance against cholera. Provincial Public Health Specialist Paul Maya says surveillance teams are on high alert to prevent any outbreak, especially in cholera-prone areas such as Mpulungu and Nsama districts. Speaking in an interview with Zanis in Kasama, Dr. Maya said the 2 districts are at perpetual risk of cholera outbreaks due to challenges such as lack of access to clean water and poor sanitation. He stated that public health officers have been tasked to be on the lookout for any suspected cholera cases and increased diarrheal diseases in communities. This year, Northern Province recorded 3 outbreaks in Mpulungu and Nsama's Nsumbu area.
We have kept our surveillance officers busy, looking for any alerts of either suspected cholera or just an increase in the number of diarrheal diseases, so that we are able to prevent any casualties. We don't want people to die. So as part of our preparedness, we have continued to have weekly emergency operation meetings at DHO levels and at provincial level, and also just really heightened our active surveillance so that we are always aware, prepared our emergency preparedness corners, stocked them with the chlorines, the RDTs for testing.
And Kasama Mayor Teresa Kolala has called on business owners in Kasama district to keep their business premises clean in order to prevent the outbreak of cholera and other waterborne diseases. Mrs. Kolala said the Kasama Municipal Council is taking a leading role in the fight against cholera outbreak by ensuring that it clears garbage across the town. Japhet Mkondia has more in the following report.
Following the outbreak of cholera in Lusaka, the Kasama Municipal Council is taking measures aimed at preventing the disease in the district. Kasama Mayor Teresa Kolala conducted a spot check on some trading places to check on the sanitation compliance to prevent the disease outbreak. The mayor started their inspections with Kasama ShopRite.
There is a cholera outbreak here in Zambia. Though it is not in Kasama yet, we need to put on our armor and make sure that we do not come on the list of the districts that have cholera, because Kasama has grown. This is a very big community that we are talking about, and everywhere, wherever you are, please make sure that you take keen interest in making sure that your surrounding is clean.
Sichi Vulampande is Kasama ShopRite manager and had this to say.
How the place has changed, how it is being outside.
Yes, actually.
Yes, when we are collecting normally, we have situations, 1 or 2 issues, but not detailed as it was in the past. So we are 100% okay.
The mayor was, however, not impressed with the status of sanitation she found at OK Furnitures.
But this one, it is at a point, it's at a sewer point, direct from the toilet. It cannot never be rinsed, it can never be just some water from the pipe. The pipe for water is just dry. But the problem is right there on the sewer point.
I want first to take an opportunity to thank the mayor for Kasama for the effort and the energy she has taken to do a roundup checkup for ShopRite Kasama. It's unfortunate. Lusaka has recorded cholera cases, and the Minister of Health has really emphasized and advised all Zambians, including ourselves here in Kasama, that we should keep cleanness.
Reporting for Zanis in Kasama, I'm Japhet Mkondia.
And finally, Chieftainess Mwanjawantu of the Nsenga-speaking people of Petauke district has issued a decree to all 850 headmen in her chiefdom to participate in the fight against child marriages and teenage pregnancies. The traditional ruler says she is disheartened by the continued rising cases of teenage pregnancies and marriages in her chiefdom. More in this report.
The fight against early marriages and teenage pregnancies has incorporated partnerships between government and various stakeholders, such as non-governmental organizations and the traditional leadership. To this effect, Chieftainess Mwanjabantu of Petauke district has passed a decree to 850 headmen in her chiefdom to effectively participate in the fight against teenage pregnancies and early marriages.
Osamugulisha wana ntonto yaji mwana ntonto asapezeka na vumo pang'anda kapena pamunzi yaji ndipo mwana ngati wapezeka na vumo pamunzi kapena pang'anda amama na tata zona kunena kuti kuchina lume ufuna kuchoka ng'ombe ziwili kupanja chinakazi sote kufuna kuchoka sote mfinji chimozi ahedimani pamunzi mweo namwe mwe mufuna kulipira ng'ombe ziwili ahedimani pamunzi mwe molola wala ukwati mufuna kulipira ng'ombe ziwili sochoka mbacho nena kuti ahedimani ngati papezeka mwana ntonto anavumo sungani ng'ombe ziwili kapena ahedimani mwapezeka mwana okala kusikulu sungani ng'ombe ziwili.
And Young Happy Health and Safe Executive Director Zikalo Perry outlines how the Children's Future Program is yielding positive results in the province.
Probably thanking the Save the Children International in Zambia for according us the project, the Children's Future Project that we're implementing in 3 chiefdoms in Petauke district. We are actually implementing in Chief Mumbi, Chief Mwanjabantu and Chief Kalindawalo. And so in several health facilities, schools and communities. And so the project seeks to address the issues of education. So to look at the children must access education in as much as possible.
These are the adolescents benefiting from the Children's Future program implemented by Young Happy Health and Safe with the support from Save the Children.
Naponzera pama early marriages kuzisira ti makukwatiwa kamsanga sikwamusha kukubwereseza ma problem kambiri munga ine pano neze naleka school nezofuna okukwatiriwa but nankhala pansi noganiza pena amba wakabungu ka Young Happy and Safe ananipunza ti chikwatisi chamose nankhala pansi toganiza pamodzi na maparents yanga nobwerera ku school.
Here I used to observe a lot of teenage pregnancy, a lot of young females used to have for pregnancy, but they have formed a group which has been brought here, and it has taught us how to prevent these teenage pregnancy.
Sylvester Shimba for Zanis in Chipata District.
On that note, we end the news, but before we go, let's take another look at the top stories. 30 Luansha farmers scammed in fake fertilizer scandal. Kapala Foundation donates to Chifunabuli storm disaster victims. And Electoral Commission of Zambia launches media corps in Southern Province. And the World Bank has donated vehicles to the Zambia National Blood Transfusion Services. Thank you so much for staying with us on the news. On behalf of the entire news production crew, my name is Henry Himonde. Remember to catch us again tomorrow at the same time for another edition. For now, it's goodbye.